WD-40 has exactly one job written on that can, and it's not the one you've been using it for. I bet you've got a can in your garage right now, and for most of what you use it on, something else actually works better and can end up saving you hundreds of dollars. WD-40. The name means water displacement, and 40 is the number of times they reformulated it to get it right. Built in 1953 to prevent rust on Atlas missile fuel tanks, not for squeaky door hinges. I'm a high school chemistry teacher. I teach the chemistry behind what WD-40 actually does to metal, rubber, and plastic. And what I found is that most households have been reaching for it for jobs it was never built to do. That $6 can is being used on treadmill belts that crack from petroleum contact, sliding door tracks that bind worse after treatment, leather goods that dry out faster than before, and electronics that stop working from residue left behind. Repair and replacement costs that add up to $100 to $500 in an average household. The three products that cover every lubrication job most homeowners will ever face cost $17 total and last for years. You're not holding a lubricant. You're holding an aerospace-grade water displacer. I tried every WD-40 use I could find and kept the 16 that actually saved money or corrected a mistake worth correcting. The last one on this list is the one most households have already gotten wrong at least once. 16 truths about WD-40 most of us don't know, and what to use instead. Let's get started. Number 16. Sliding door and window tracks. A WD-40 customer service rep explicitly directed a customer away from the original formula for sliding door tracks, pointing them to WD-40 Specialist Silicone, their own separate product. WD-40's petroleum film is a dust magnet. It coats the track channel and then pulls grit right back in within days, so the door ends up binding worse, not better. Here's what actually works. Vacuum the track, wipe it down with a damp cloth to get the old WD-40 residue off, then spray on dry PTFE. That's Teflon-based, or silicone spray on the track and rollers. About $6 to $10 and doesn't attract debris. If the door still binds, the issue is roller or track alignment. Number 15. Fishing reel cleaning. Most household content says spray it on your reel. That's half a protocol, and the missing half is the part that destroys bearings. WD-40 works fine as a cleaner at this stage. It strips corrosion and old grease off the metal gears and drag washers. It's never the final step. That's because WD-40 is too thin to hold up in salt water over time, and it can eat away at the O-rings and plastic casing on modern sealed reels. Use it as the only lubricant for one full fishing season, and the casing will be compromised from the inside out. Do it like this instead. Take the reel apart, clean it with WD-40, wipe it completely dry, then put dedicated reel grease on the gears and reel oil on the bearings before you put it back together. Reel grease and oil together cost about $12 and last multiple seasons. Number 14. Stainless steel appliances. The cloth first technique is valid and it works. Apply a small amount of WD-40 to a microfiber cloth first, then wipe in the direction of the stainless steel grain. The petroleum fills the tiny surface scratches that make stainless look dull and uneven, producing an even shine. Never spray directly onto stainless. It creates uneven residue that's harder to remove than the original fingerprints. The cloth-first method also controls exactly how much product touches the steel. One caveat: WD-40 Multi-Use isn't certified safe for surfaces that touch food. The company sells a separate specialist food-grade line for that. Don't use the standard formula near stove burners or oven interiors. Dedicated stainless cleaner runs $8 to $12 per bottle. This technique costs about 15 cents per application. Number 13. Musical instruments. No mainstream household WD-40 content covers this. WD-40 is explicitly the wrong product for brass valve and slide mechanisms and for woodwind keypad mechanisms. Every instrument repair guide says the same thing. What you want instead is dedicated valve oil for brass and key oil for woodwind. Here's why. WD-40 evaporates the same way it does everywhere else, so it won't stay lubricated. And its own warning label warns about breathing in the fumes, which can cause drowsiness and dizziness. That matters a lot when you're a wind player putting the instrument straight to your mouth right after spraying it. In other words, The product fails as a lubricant, and it's not safe to breathe. And a wind instrument goes directly to your mouth. Dedicated valve oil costs about $5. That's the only product that belongs inside a brass instrument. Number 12. Adhesive residue on price stickers, tape residue, tree sap. Most people reach for goo, gone for sticker, and adhesive removal. WD-40 does the same job for a fraction of the cost per application. Apply WD-40 directly to the adhesive residue. Let it sit 2 to 3 minutes, longer for dried or thick residue. Wipe away with a cloth. For tar or tree sap on a car finish, the same approach applies. Apply, let sit, wipe in one direction. WD-40 is petroleum-based and adhesive residue is also oil-based. Oil dissolves oil, so the petroleum breaks the adhesive bond without scraping. Don't use on painted surfaces. Goo Gone runs $5 to $8 per bottle. WD-40 costs about 25 cents per application for the same result. Number 11. Paper shredder blades. Homeowners either ignore their shredder until it jams, or they spray WD-40 into the blade assembly because it's the aerosol within reach. Both approaches destroy the cutting mechanism. Shredder manufacturers specify plain mineral oil or vegetable-based shredder oil, not an aerosol solvent. Do this instead. Put dedicated shredder oil, or a few drops of baby oil, which is the same mineral oil formula, on a sheet of paper, then run it through the machine. The reason? WD-40's thin, fast-evaporating film doesn't lubricate a cutting assembly the way a heavier oil does, and the petroleum solvent causes paper dust to clump and gum the mechanism. Dedicated shredder oil runs $8 to $12 and treats a machine dozens of times. Number 10. Leather goods. WD-40 on dry, stiff leather looks like it works. The leather softens immediately, feels better, and looks improved. That short-term result is why this tip circulates. The long-term result is the opposite. Petroleum solvents displace the natural fats and oils that were set into the leather during the tanning process, and once the petroleum evaporates, the leather is left drier than it was before application, accelerating cracking. In other words, WD-40 borrows from the leather's own conditioning and pays nothing back. What actually works is neat's foot oil, mink oil, or a dedicated leather conditioner, all in the $8 to $15 range. Clean first with a leather-specific cleaner, then condition. Number 9. Sewing machine. If a sewing machine has been sitting unused for years and the mechanism is stiff, the instinct is to force it or take it to a repair shop. The repair call runs $60 to $100 for what's often a simple gummed oil problem. WD-40 actually works here, but only as a cleaner to dissolve the old oil, not as a lubricant. Remove the needle and bobbin, spray the moving parts, run the mechanism to work the WD-40 through, then fully purge with compressed air and rags. That's because WD-40 is chemically similar to kerosene with additives. It dissolves tar like degraded oil but can't replace the oil that goes back in afterward. After the purge, re-oil with clear sewing machine oil. Don't skip this step. Check your manual before applying anything to a modern computerized machine. Many are self-lubricating. Quick break. If you're finding this useful, I put my favorite tested and safe formulas into one handy guide. The Clean Home Blueprint gives you the exact system to finally ditch every random cleaning product cluttering your sink. 5 products that handles every surface and mess in every room of your house. Links in the description. Now, back to it. Here's where the stakes go up. From here, every mistake either voids a warranty, triggers a repair call, or costs more than the right product would have. Number 8. Treadmill belts and deck surfaces. Nordic Track, Proform, and Life Fitness all explicitly prohibit WD-40 on treadmill belts. It's not just ineffective, it voids the warranty on units that specify silicone-only lubricant. The petroleum in WD-40 breaks down the rubber in most treadmill belts and strips the factory silicone off the deck surface. So things end up rubbing harder, not smoother. What that means is, the belt that was running smoothly starts running hot, and the first sign is often a burning smell, followed by a belt replacement at $100 or more, plus labor. Replace it with 100% silicone treadmill lubricant applied under the belt edge to the deck surface the way the manufacturer recommends. It costs $8 to $15 and should be applied every 3 months or every 130 miles. Number 7. Cast iron. Most homeowners treat WD-40 as an all-purpose rust solution for cast iron. It's a good rust remover and a poor rust preventer, which is the exact inverse of how it's typically used. For rust removal on cast iron, spray liberally, wet sand with 400 to 600 grit, wipe clean, strip residue with mineral spirits, and apply paste wax. WD-40 is lighter than water, so if moisture gets under the petroleum film, the oil floats on top rather than sealing it out, and corrosion continues beneath. Paste wax costs about $8 and is the long-term fix. Number 6. Bicycle chains. Park Tool explicitly states WD-40 isn't a reliable chain lubricant. Most household content gets this backwards. WD-40 is a valid first step on a bicycle chain, but only as a degreaser. Spray it on the chain, work it through the links, then wipe completely dry. That's step 1. Step 2 is the product that actually lubricates. Wet lube for humid or rain conditions, dry lube for dry and dusty conditions. WD-40 is a solvent and penetrant, not something that actually coats and protects. It dissolves and displaces the existing chain grease, then evaporates, leaving the chain completely unprotected. Dedicated chain lube runs $8 to $12. A chain replacement from accelerated wear runs $20 to $60 depending on the drivetrain. Number 5. Insects. Yes, WD-40 will kill an insect on contact. The petroleum blocks the spiracles. The breathing pores along the abdomen. It physically blocks them. It's not poison. But I want you to notice something. Any oil does this. Dish soap does this. Vegetable oil does this. You're reaching for a $6 aerosol for a job a drop of dish soap does identically. That's not a hack. That's a habit. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. One catch. It's not picky about what it kills. It'll take out pollinators just as easily. So this isn't a real pest control solution. For any pest problem beyond 1 or 2 insects, use a product designed for that pest and that location. Number 4. Frozen door locks. The common instruction is to spray WD-40 into a frozen lock cylinder to thaw it. That instruction is incomplete. WD-40 doesn't gel in any homeowner-relevant temperature. Applied preventively before a cold snap, it displaces moisture from the cylinder and reduces freeze risk. That's the move. Spray it before the freeze, not after you're already locked out. The reason, WD-40 is a water displacer. The WD in WD-40. And moisture is what freezes inside a lock cylinder. Spray it in the fall before the first freeze, not the morning you can't get your door open. Long-term, repeated applications deposit residue that attracts debris. A graphite lubricant at about $5 is the better long-term fix. Number 3. Zippers. Every household WD-40 list treats zippers as one category. They're not. WD-40 works on metal zippers, brass and aluminum coil, where the petroleum lubricates the coil and slider without damaging them. Apply a small amount to the coil, work the slider up and down, and the metal slides cleanly. That's a valid use. Nylon and plastic coil zippers are a different situation. Petroleum can break down certain types of nylon with repeated use, causing the coil to stiffen or crack over time. That's because WD-40's petroleum-based chemicals are incompatible with certain nylon materials. Repeated contact weakens the coil until it separates from the tape. Use silicone spray instead, or a dedicated zipper wax like Zipper Ease. Safe on metal and nylon, about $5 to $8. A zipper replacement at a tailor runs $10 to $30. For most zippers, use silicone. WD-40 is safe only on metal coil brass or aluminum zippers. Number 2. The Complete Home Lubrication Kit. This is the replacement kit, $17 total, and it covers every lubrication job most homeowners will ever face. It's what tradespeople and maintenance pros actually use. 3 products. WD-40 at $6 as the water displacer, rust penetrant and surface preparation tool. WD-40 white lithium grease at $5. It's in the same hardware aisle as the WD-40 itself, for lasting lubrication on metal parts, door hinges, garage door tracks, lock cylinders. Silicone spray at $6 for rubber, plastic and any surface where petroleum would degrade the material. Drawer slides, rubber seals, O-rings, weather stripping. Here's how it works. Spray WD-40 first to break up rust or loosen frozen parts. Wipe it completely dry. Then put on the right lubricant for that surface. WD-40 preps it. The lubricant seals it. The petroleum film WD-40 deposits evaporates within days to weeks, leaving no lasting lubrication layer, which is why the squeak comes back after a week. The $17 kit, bought once, replaces the locksmith call at $100 and the handyman call at $80 for stuck or squeaky hardware. Number 1 is coming up next. The one where WD-40's own product line admits the formula was never meant for this job. If you like real practical advice like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because that is what we do here every week. Let's get back to it. Number 1, electronics. The reflex when a remote stops responding is to spray something into the contact points. WD-40 is the aerosol most people reach for. This is the wrong product, and you won't know it failed until it's too late. Here's why. Once WD-40 evaporates, it leaves behind an oily residue that conducts electricity, exactly what you don't want anywhere near a circuit board or contact point. That same residue can also eat away at plastic housings and circuit board coatings. WD-40 Specialist Electrical Contact Cleaner exists because the original formula leaves conductive residue on contacts. Fast evaporating, zero residue, non-conductive. Use 90% isopropyl alcohol instead, about $4 at any drugstore versus $40 to $80 for a new remote or controller. Which one of these surprised you the most? Or do you know a WD-40 trick I completely missed? Let us know in the comments. YouTube thinks you'll like this video next.